By the end of this video, you will have a full understanding on moving averages and how to use them to your advantage to make consistently profitable trades. And the two key moving average indicators that I'm going to be showing you are the short-term blue SMA and the long-term orange SMA. Now, before we talk about these indicators, we need to get them set up. So I'm going to show you how I set up my SMA indicator. Now, keep in mind, this is just one person's opinion. Go watch other videos and go download Webull, which is linked down in the description. And then from there, you can formulate your own opinion on how you would like to set up your SMA lines. But for this video, I'm just going to show you how I set up mine. So I'm going to click on this little icon down here, and that's going to take us to this page. And from here, you're going to click on indicators, and that'll take us here. And you can see that MA is already selected. That stands for moving average. So then we're going to click on this icon right here. And so now that we're at this page, we're going to click on the icon that is next to MA, which stands for moving average. And that's going to take us to here. And this page is where you're actually going to set up your specifics on what you want your moving average lines to represent. So mine, I have my short-term SMA selected to 9 days, so it's going to represent 9 days of data. And then I have my long-term SMA selected to 200 days. And then you can also select what color each line is going to be, just for simplicity. And I have mine selected to blue for the short-term SMA and orange for the long-term SMA. So now that we have this indicator set up, let's talk about a couple key things that this indicator will tell us, show us, and how to read it. So the short-term SMA is good for shorter trades, and the long-term SMA is good for longer trades, such as swing trades. And I'm not going to go too in-depth on the short-term SMA because I have other videos that contain information about that. But essentially the short-term SMA, how you are going to use it is you're going to wait for the green candlestick to rise above and hold above the blue SMA line before you decide to buy. So that's pretty simple. But with this long-term SMA, you can use it a couple different ways. And this first way that I'm going to talk about is how the long-term SMA can act as a support area. And how you can tell if the long-term SMA is acting as a support area is by looking at how many times the price action actually bounces off of that SMA line. And I'll point those out. And so you can see that there is a couple times right here where the price gets close to going below the long-term SMA and then bounces up off of it. That is what I mean by a support area, because it is supporting it in that uptrend. And how you can use this support area in your trades is once you can identify that it is acting as a support area, then once it hits that line and it begins to rise back up in price, then you can actually use the short-term SMA in your advantage this way by waiting for confirmation with the green candlestick holding above that short-term SMA, confirming once again that the uptrend is continuing, and then you can enter a trade. So if you would enter here and then get out here, then you just took advantage of that bump off of that long-term SMA line to make a profit. And just as the long-term SMA can act as a support area, it can also act as a resistance area. And so you can see here there are several times where the price tries to rise above that long-term SMA but fails to and goes back down in price. And once again, you can take advantage of this whether you are shorting a stock or looking for a long position. If you are shorting a stock and you see that the price fails to go above that long-term SMA line, then you can take advantage by making sure that the red candlestick goes and holds below that blue SMA line, and once that happens, then you can enter a short trade. And then with a long position, if you see that the price is getting close to the long-term SMA, then you know that the price is probably about to go down unless it confirms by holding above that long-term SMA. Then if you're looking for a long position, then you would be able to tell if it is a good time to get into that trade or not. And if the price were to rise above and hold above that long-term SMA, then that would be considered a breakthrough. So let's talk about that next. And now to talk about a breakthrough. A breakthrough is good for long positions. A breakthrough is where the price action along with the blue SMA line rises above and holds above that long-term SMA line. So as you can see right here, that was the last point where the long-term SMA was acting as a resistance area for this price action. And then it was able to break through right here. And so once we have confirmation that not only the price action has rose above, but the blue short-term SMA has rose above that long-term SMA, that is where we'd want to enter a trade. And if you were in a day trade, then you would have been able to exit right here where the red candlestick goes below and holds below that blue SMA line. And just as price action can break through a resistance area, price action can also break through a support area as well. And if you have a bearish breakthrough, then you know that you can look for the long-term SMA to be acting as a resistance area once again. But to actually make a trade off of this move right here, you would wait for the red candlestick to go below and hold below not only the long-term SMA, but also the blue SMA. And you want the blue SMA to go below and hold below that long-term SMA. And if you were shorting a stock, you could have entered right up here where that red candlestick holds below the blue SMA line. Even though it is above the long-term SMA line, you know that that is your resistance area at that time. And you can see that there's a couple green candlesticks where it tries to bounce back off, but it never rises above that blue SMA line. So you could have stayed in this trade all the way down to right here where you would have exited. And then just as you can short a stock as it is in a bearish trend and breaks through that long-term SMA resistance area, you can also take advantage of the uptrends in this, where after the price has went down, it tries to rebound back to that resistance area, trying to break through it once again. And so you can get some shorter trades off of this by watching your candlesticks go above your blue SMA line. Once again, if you found this video helpful, then hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for more videos. Also, I have links down in the description, so go hit those. Get your free stock from Webull, and also I have courses down in the description that I took. So if you go take these courses, then you will start making money for yourself.